You just sent me a Cullinan out of the blue.
I did.
When people say to you Ferrari or Lambo, what do you personally think is better?
Just to give my honest opinion, I like.
These scams are getting so elaborate, and when I Google Earth their address, it looked like a train yard.
The loyalty thing, it's not like it was back in the day. Now it's more like, who's got the car?
With Ferrari, dude, they told me I can't sell it for 6 months. Now, what if I had? What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I have a real treat, just like I always do. Chris Barta in the house.
I was hoping you'd call me a real treat.
Christopher Barta, folks. If you've never heard of him, well, then you're probably not into cars. If you go follow him on Instagram at CP Barta. CP Barta. Someone left off the A. At CP Barta. The business, though, you got two businesses.
I do.
Sitting there in the green room chatting with you. I thought you were out here to talk about how you built Tactical Fleet. Yeah. Tactical Fleet, he's one of the co-founders of Tactical Fleet, which is the largest pre-owned exotic car dealership in the U.S. And I want to know how you built that, how you got into that. What are the little known things about these exotic cars?
Sure.
And what's crazy is how I met you, dude. It's you just sent me a Cullinan out of the blue.
I did.
Now, were you worried that maybe I might trash it?
So here's what I was doing. I was on the treadmill. You were talking to Limitless, and you guys were talking about Cullinans, right? I don't know if you remember that. And you both were like, oh, I love Cullinans. Cullinan's my favorite car. And I was like, I'm going to DM this guy and send him a Cullinan. So I got home. I was like, hey, it's Chris Barta. I own Tactical Fleet. Any interest in just driving a Cullinan and tagging me in it? And you wrote back. And I was like, oh, surely this must be like his assistant or something. I was like, hey, would you please tell Brad? And you were like, no, this is me. I'd be interested. And I was like, all right, cool. Where should I send it? So you gave me your address. And I was like, is this like, if this is a scam, like, am I scamming myself? Like, I was like, someone would have to break into your account and send me a fake address. So I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to send it. And yeah, dude, I sent it out to you in Vegas. And then you called me. And we're like, what do you want me to do with this thing? I was like, just drive it around and tag me in it. And you're like, do you want me to I was like, don't make it look like a commercial. Just tag me in some stuff. And then, man, you drove it to work and you were like, hey, if you ever need an exotic car, call Chris Barta. And dude, all these people came out of the woodworks. Like people I'd never heard of were like, oh, you're friends with Brad Lee?
Shut up. That didn't happen.
Yeah. This guy comes walking in, right?
This is in Dallas?
We had 3 locations. We had Beverly Hills, Dallas, and Charlotte. Now we have Dallas and Charlotte. And this was in Dallas at our headquarters. This young guy comes walking in one day and he's like, you're friends with Brad Lee? And I was like, yeah, I know him a little bit. And he was like, man, I love his show. I love this and that. And I really like cars. And he buys an 812 Ferrari on the spot. Then he buys like a 765 LT. Then he buys an Aston Martin DBS. Anyway, he spends $1 million on cars with me. And then he's like, I got this buddy you need to meet. So he brings his buddy in. His buddy buys another $1 million worth of cars, all because I loaned you this Cullinan one day. And then he ends up dating one of our sales girls, and now they're getting married, and they'll eventually have a kid, all because of that Cullinan. Isn't that crazy?
Well, or all because of Brad Lee.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's actually because of Chris Barta.
Yeah,
you're the one that sent it, which connected it all.
100%.
That's how the world works, folks. It's the more hands you shake, the more money you make. You could have been afraid to send me one.
I thought about it. I was like, man, this is a $400,000 car. I don't know this guy.
And dude, I could have trashed it.
You could have.
I could have said, thanks, Chris. I didn't sign anything.
Nope, you didn't. I was like, send me your driver's license. I never got the driver's license. I was like, well, I don't want to ask him too many times.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, have I made it? Now people are just offering me Rolls Royces to drive, which led me to buy a Rolls Royce, but just not from you, which it was only because I tried to buy the Cullinan.
Yeah.
But your price wasn't what I wanted.
We were a little high on that one.
I was being third based by somebody.
Third based, I like that.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, dude, you're going to get buried in that one right now. I mean, the things are dropping like crazy. COVID just ended and cars are like, I'm like, oh, shit. So, and then when I finally went and decided, yeah, maybe I better get a Rolls, I forgot.
That's what happens, man. I should have been following up. It's my fault.
Yeah, you should have been texting and building that relationship along the way. You should have said, hey, how about a Ferrari for a week?
Hey, what about this?
If I'd have drove 2 or 3 more cars, dude, I would have guaranteed called you. But it doesn't matter. Like people think like when they buy $1 million worth of cars, you get $1 million. No, dude.
Sometimes you lose $1 million.
Well, sometimes you don't make anything.
Yeah, I know.
You paid $600,000 for a car and you sold it for $600,000.
Happens all the time, especially after COVID.
So is that what got you tired of messing with that?
Yeah, so I started that in my background's marketing. So this is marketing, right? I went to Arizona State for marketing. I got my MBA in brand management from SMU in Dallas. And then I worked for an ad agency, and then I got laid off at the end of 2009, kind of the housing crunch. And the only job I could find was car sales. And I ended up selling Bentleys and Rolls Royces and Maseratis and McLarens. It was the only job I could find. And I kind of took that job as like, all right, at least I have a job and I can send out resumes and I'll figure out what I want to do with my life. And then like I got good at it because it's like, it's a different sell. It's not like, lease a Mercedes and come back in 4 years and lease another Mercedes. This is more like if you stay in touch with these guys, they'll buy cars. You know what I mean? You can sell a guy 2 cars on the same day, 2 cars in the same week. Like it's not uncommon.
Because you're dealing with people with cash, money. Their resources are vast.
They got vast resources.
If I walk in to pick up my Rolls Royce and see a Ferrari, I could theoretically go, dude, how much you want for that one?
All day long. And people do it all day long. I didn't even realize people did that. I was like, I was driving an Infiniti and like, I was like, people buy these things? People buy Bugattis? And then, I kind of got good at it. And then one day I was like, dude, I can do this on my own. I'm just going to open my own car dealership. This was around like 2016. So I kind of started like mapping it out.
Did you save your money to do that though?
I had no money. I had zero.
How do you start a car dealership with no money?
Sweat equity. So I kind of came up with what it was going to look like. And I was thinking we were going to be selling like cheater cars, like the cars we were talking about there, kind of the $100,000 ghosts, you know what I mean? Cheater Bentleys. Is
that what you call them?
That's what I call them, cheater cars. Because
like
it's the guy that's like, he's not buying the F8 for $400,000. He's buying the, 360 for $75,000. But most people don't know the difference. So when he takes it to dinner, people are like, that guy's got a Ferrari. But like, yeah, he's like, financed it for 180 months and like he's got a 900 credit, like a terrible credit score, all that kind of stuff. So I call them cheaters. So like the guy pulls up for dinner.
How many cheaters are there?
Nowadays, man, with the internet and social media, millions of cheaters.
So cheater cars would be a good business.
Yeah, except for like the guy that buys the cheater wants the like brand new Ferrari service. You know what I mean? So it's a tough sell. It really is. It's hard to sell that car. I'm serious.
So the dude that's buying the $100,000 Ferrari he wants
a perfect $100,000 Ferrari. No scratches, no issues.
Yeah, because it's a Ferrari.
He's buying a Ferrari.
Well, do you ever just bump him up?
You could try. That's a big bump though. But
not for me. You come to me for a little cheapie, I'd say, dude, why a $100,000 Ferrari out of curiosity? What would you say?
Just why $100,000? Usually like they come in and they're on that car and then they start to hit you with I've been looking for one of these for a while. You're like, oh yeah, you've been shopping the whole country for 10 years because you're probably not even going to buy one, but it's a tough sell, man. I've never really did well with the cheaters. That's why I kind of went to more like the newer stuff. You know what I mean? 250 and up is kind of my wheelhouse.
So that's how Tactical Fleet was started?
Yeah. So like I came up with this idea and then like I didn't go to a bank, I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. I just mentioned it to like a couple rich car guys that I thought would be like a good fit. And I was on a test drive with this. He was a young guy, probably a billionaire. And I was like, man, I'm thinking about starting my own car dealership. And he was like, well, what'd you need for that? And I was like, I don't know, a couple $1,000,000. He's like, how much space would you need? I was like, I don't know, 15, 30,000 square foot. He's like, I might be interested in that. Anyway, I went down this long path with this guy and it started going in front of like the family office and stuff, like Shark Tank style. And it went from like a car dealership to like a fleet management company where we were going to manage his electric parts company's fleet. So we were going to manage trucks. That's why we called it Tactical Fleet. And then that deal ended up like not happening, right? After a year and a half of pitching. So then I just called 3 other guys and one of the 3 loaned me $500,000 and that's what we got started with.
What'd you do with the $500,000?
I literally spent it all fixing up the building. And then I bought a couple cars.
Well, but you must have started with the cheaters.
So in the car business, we started doing like a lot of like little crafty consignment, you know what I mean? Sell the cars you don't own. We could kind of float titles. You don't have to pay for a car if they don't have the title to it. So we could, give them their equity and we'll pay you for the rest when the title comes in. We were just juggling cash all day long. So if you went to my website, you'd be like, man, this guy's got $10 million worth of cars. They must be crushing it. But I didn't own any of them. It just looked like I did. So we spent $500,000 fixing up the building, kind of slow walked the contractor on. We were just slow walking everybody. Nothing illegal, but just kind of like just doing what we could to keep our heads above water. It was crazy.
You were hustling. So did it eventually catch on?
It caught on, man. We became like, the brand started to really grow. Our marketing was really cool.
Just locally or what?
Mostly local. I'd go to the car shows. I'd push it on Instagram, push it on Facebook. But we were on all the platforms, so it wasn't uncommon for a guy to see us and be in Florida or California. Because if they want the car, they'll buy it anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's in a warehouse in Dallas or if it's at a brand new, Ferrari dealer and wherever. It's like, if that's the car they want, they'll come get it.
Or they'll have it shipped.
Or they'll ship it,
Because again, right before I bought the Ghost, I was looking at a Ghost in Florida because it had red interior accents instead of purple.
Yep.
And what ultimately talked me out of it was, by the way, that same third baseman said, go look at their reviews.
Yep.
And so I said, who? He goes, look at the guy you're buying it from's reviews. So I looked it up and his reviews were like shot.
Yeah.
All kinds of problems.
Yep.
So I'm like, I might as well. This one's here. I liked it, the fact that it was here, but I was damn ready to freaking just ship it out of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing, me and Jace, my business partner, we're super like, I care. I'm one of those guys that just care. So like we took care of everybody, man. If it needed this, we'd pay for it. If something was wrong with that, we'd take care of it. So like 4 years later, man, we had 5-star reviews and it was all real legit reviews. I mean, you get someone that's upset about something occasionally, but like we were still a 5-star for 4 years. It was crazy.
What about the people that are pissed off because there's only one key?
Then you get them a second key. Nothing money can't fix is what they say in the car business. Nothing little money can't fix. But yeah, the key thing's a big deal.
So eventually, though, you sold Tactical.
We did sell it, yeah.
Did you get tired of the grind? Did you get tired of
So that's another good story. We were at this like turning point with our original investor, with our line of credit, where kind of everybody was about done with it. And then I got a call. I was calling, and by the way, independent dealerships, no one will finance your cars. Like I didn't know that when I started it. Like, you go to a dealership and they have Bank of America and Chase. You don't get that if you're an independent because they don't do the small guys. I didn't even know that.
Really?
Yeah. Because they come and go too quick and there's too much scams involved. So if you get Bank of America, you're a legit new car franchise. You've been around. They just don't hand those out. So people would come in wanting to buy a car and I didn't have any way to finance the cars. So one day I'm calling all these banks. I called this lady from Ally and she's like, oh, we'd love to do you guys. I'm like, are you sure? Because banks don't do independence. And she's like, no, we'll do it. We'll do it. And then she calls back. She's like, oh, yeah, we can't do independence. And I was like, oh, all right. And then one day she calls me and she goes, hey, you got to meet this guy. He's looking to do something in the exotic space. So I meet this other guy and then he's trying to kind of buy Tactical Fleet. And then that deal didn't work out. And he's like, let me introduce you to the Sonic Automotive guys. And I was like, what's Sonic Automotive? So I Google it.
Bruton Smith.
Yep, that's the guy. Bruton Smith, David Smith. And publicly traded company, 180 car dealerships, billionaires. Legit.
They own racetracks.
They own all the racetracks too. Texas Motor Speedway.
They own oil and they own all kinds of crap.
They own everything. Yep. Good guys from North Carolina. So they show up one day and they're like, all right, yeah, we're buying it. And then like me and Jason are like, what are we doing? And they're like, no, yeah, we'll take it. Kind of like it was buying a hamburger. And then, to
them it was.
It's nothing, man.
They're probably going, oh, cute little business you built here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they came off their jet and all that. And, that was the big leagues. And then,
so did you cash out like 100% or did you have to stick around and run it?
You got paid you got paid that day and then you got some earnouts, right? You hit these goals, we'll pay you a little bit more. And this was all during COVID. Like if you looked at our financials, it's like these guys just need more money. Cause I was just selling, you know what I mean? If you were going to come in and buy a car, I was selling it cause I needed the $200,000. Like I needed it. But like, I would just push and push and push and sell everything I could just to keep, because I wasn't going to fail. We weren't going to fail at it because it was too dude, everyone knew I was doing it. It was all over the internet. I was like, this dealership's going to work out. And then, then a couple of years go by. Then COVID, we rode the COVID wave like crazy. So you couldn't keep a car in. And then, we hit all our earnouts and it was good. And then a few years went by and I was kind of thinking what am I going to do next? What's the next project? And that's where I kind of came up with Design Auto.
But I can tell you this, dude, I as you know, I grew up in the car business.
I know that's
so I know what you went through, dude. And that right there was, that takes work.
That's crazy.
But you also have to be into cars. You must have been into cars.
I was not. My family wasn't. We're not car guys. We were my dad had a Buick LeSabre, and my mom had a minivan with the wood, the wood on the side back in the day. So I wasn't really into cars. But what I really liked about it was the people, man. The people are fascinating, especially in the exotic world. And then the sales process is it's different now. It's not hey, how much horsepower does it have? Or what's the 0 to 60? It's hey, can I fit in it? Or what do you you drive them all?
Well, at the high end, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
at the high end, we don't even have to drive them anymore.
A lot of them don't even drive them.
Yeah. The 296. Never even driven one.
You're about to find out. Yeah.
Well, I figure I'll get it when I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a Ferrari. How the hell are you not going to like it?
What's wrong with that? Yeah.
I don't need to see if I fit. I'm only 6'1". I know that I fit.
Yeah, you'll fit.
And not only that, when people say to you Ferrari or Lambo, what do you personally think is better?
And that's the other thing. I just give my honest opinion. You know what I mean? I'm I like Ferraris. I do. Lambos I like the Urus a lot because I got a wife and kids, so I drive.
Again, Urus is a Lambo, but it's an SUV. I'm talking about the cars.
I'm Ferrari.
I don't like the Purasang.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that doesn't even look right. It looks kind of like the Maserati.
It looks like a Levante.
Yeah, it's not. Doors, and not only that, it's not even that cool.
It's a lot smaller than I thought.
It's like a chick's car.
It's kind of a chick's car.
Yeah, if I see a dude in a Purasang, I'm still a Ferrari, dude. There's nothing wrong with it. But if I'm gonna go SUV, I'm probably going Lambo.
I know those were selling for $1 million for a little bit too.
Well, those Uruses, dude. The third baseman. Yeah, I keep referencing.
I got to get this guy's number.
Well, dude, I'm gonna. How long are you in town for?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, well, again.
But I can say
he gave me a Urus, yellow one, to drive. Yeah. Yep. When you said, "Hey, do you want a Cullinan?" Dude, he's been saying, "Come by and get any car you want, dude." Yeah. Run around on social media. But see, I'm not on social media flashing cars.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. They get me confused with some of the lifestyle people that they flash their cars, and that's what attracts people.
Yeah.
I don't flash cars, and I could go get a ton of shit from him anytime I want. But I don't. Why?
Yeah.
Well, number one, because when you can buy them, it's not that big a deal to drive them. Yeah. But if you've never driven one and you can't afford them, shit, I'd have been over there every day going, dude, give me that one, give me that one.
Yeah.
But I know that number one, he doesn't want me putting a lot of miles on it. I'm sure you wouldn't either.
No.
And when you send it to me, I was like, dude, is this guy crazy? I was thinking I'm getting scammed.
We were both scamming each other. You were like, there's no way this guy's real.
Well, I was like, I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, go ahead. Here's my address. Let's see it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, without a bunch of fuss or muss, the next day, a flatbed pulls up and there's a black badge Cullinan.
Yep.
Which my wife wanted a Cullinan. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
no, I didn't.
To me, if it wouldn't have been the wrong timing, I would have bought that car from you.
Yeah.
But there was something that I didn't like about it, or something.
It was the market was spiked, and it was just dry. You were right when it was coming down, and you would have gotten hammered on that car.
But again, a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you sell it to him cheaper? Like, dude, you were in it too much too. That's what people don't understand about car dealers. Sometimes, dude, you're getting a deal, but it's not a deal. What's that mean? Well, you're looking at their invoice going, hey, I'm buying it for what they paid. Yeah, but they paid too much.
Yeah. Or how long have they had it?
Yeah.
What's the market now?
They pay too much, man.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to go buy cars, what's a couple of basic rules to look for so they don't get just jacked?
In the exotic world, I kind of stick, if you could always go franchise dealer, if they have new Bentleys and Rollses and McLarens and stuff, they're probably pretty legit.
Like the Tobins.
Tobins of the world are, you won't have a problem over there. And if you do, those guys, I'm sure would fix it. You know,
the Tobins would for sure.
Yeah,
They've been here
100%.
for 100 years. I don't know, not literally, but I worked for the Tobins. I also worked for Sonic.
Yeah.
I was going to go be a regional vice president for Sonic. They were sending me to dealer school and the whole bit because I'd take over car dealerships. They'd go from 150 cars to 300 inside of 90 days.
Yeah.
And all I did was the basics.
Yeah.
Like I started counting the ups, started making sure everyone got turned. I started going to close deals myself. So when someone says this person isn't buying, I'd go, good. Well, let me thank them for coming in, and boom, sell them a car.
Yeah.
So like I would, and so Sonic loved me. Well, the place you're sitting in now, Lightspeed, I had already started this company, but it wasn't making any money for like 8 years. Oh, wow. So I literally had to stop working full time for myself and go get a job. And it was for Sonic. And I told the GM that was at that store, I said, I'll give you 1 year. I can only be here for a year. He said, yeah, whatever. So he says, okay, come to work. And I knew as a GSM, I'd make 30, 50K. Yeah. So I would fund this place with that money. So I would be getting I'd make 40 grand, but
that's awesome, dude.
I'd pay for this place to remain open because there was employees and shit I had to pay.
That's what Tactical Fleet went through. When we started that, I had to pay the detailers and the guys that wrap the cars and stuff. And like me and Jason, sometimes we wouldn't get paid at all. And my wife would be like, dude, your financial said you'd be making 40 grand a month. Where's the 40 grand a month? I'm like, I can't take it. I can't take it this month. So we ended up selling like our house that we built because my credit cards, all that stuff, you know what I mean, to keep Tactical Fleet going. And it's just like, yeah, man, it's a grind.
So eventually, though, you sold it.
We sold it 4 years ago, and we moved from.
You don't keep any ownership.
He sold all the ownership.
So right now, if everybody goes to Tactical Fleet, it doesn't help you one bit.
I'm not even there anymore. I just left to go pursue this other opportunity we were just talking about. But
well, just because he's a good dude, Tactical Fleet's still a good place to buy cars.
It's
Sonic
awesome.
Automotive owns it, but. Now you said, hey, wait a minute. I like the car biz. I have to create something. So you've come up with Design Auto. Which Design Auto is, let's call it a source, but it's a website and an app. Design Auto. And it's for basically cars for what, 100 grand and up?
It's a marketplace for cars 100 grand and up only.
So it's exotic, badass, expensive cars only. You're not going there to find a Honda Accord. You're not going there to find something that doesn't cost at least 100 G's.
At least 100 G's, and not the restoration stuff, but the newer $100,000 cars.
And so I go there, I find a car. Tell me about it.
So you go there. Well, back to your point about how do you know which dealers to call? All those shady dealers, they're not going to be on here because I'm the one that's like.
How do you vet them?
I'm calling them all. And I'm not calling you like if it's just some mom and pop with one Ferrari, they're not going to be on here. It's the guys I've kind of met over the last 6 years of doing this, and the ones I know from 15 years of doing it. Those guys are on there. I'm not letting some dealership that's going to be gone in 6 months on there. Like most platforms will take your car, whatever. I'm not doing that. But if you go on there and you're like, all right, I'm looking for a ghost, and you can sort ghosts. Let's say you have one simple question. You can just put it in the comments on the car. So you're like, hey, does it have 2 keys? Just put it in the comments. And the sales guy will come in and be like, yes, it has 2 keys. So then when the next guy, because as a sales guy, I answer the same question 1,000 times. Hey, does it have 2 keys? Hey, does it have 2 keys? Can you send me the window sticker? When was the last service done? I'm just going to put all that in the comments. So you don't have to, so it helps the sales guy and it helps the guy shopping too. Then you can chat with the sales guy, right? So if you're like, all right, I want to offer 250 grand, you can do that in the app basically, which is almost like a Facebook marketplace type vibe where like the car is on top and you just chat and you're like, hey, send me a picture of the window. Sales guy can take a picture of the window sticker. Boom, there it is. Hey, send me a walk around video. Everyone wants a video these days. He can go take a picture of the car, post it in there, and you can watch your walk around video. So it's all kind of like, I'm just bringing it all to one place, and I'm getting rid of all the stuff like the price drops, you know what I mean? Because that stuff doesn't help the dealer. Because like some platforms will be like, this SVJ was listed for 800, Tactical Fleet just lowered it 40 grand. What do you think the guy's going to do? Call and take the 40 grand, or is he going to call and offer another 20 off? You know what I mean? So I'm getting rid of all that kind of stuff.
So that's for the dealer.
I'm trying to help the dealer. End of the day, it's $100,000 and up, helping the dealer sell more cars faster.
So why, as a consumer, would I use it?
Because it's going to be the Brad Lees of the world. Instead of going to Treasure Island, you're going to the Wynn to just look at. You don't need all that stuff. You just want to look at those cars, right? So you don't need to filter through Hondas and Chevys just to get to the Ferraris and the Ghosts. It's just going to be an easier experience.
But when I go on the other apps, the Ferraris and Ghosts are there too.
Yep. But they're also on that platform. Like it's not laid out well. And then for the dealer, right, since all those other people are shopping on there, they get a lot of bad leads because it's like the guy that's looking at the Honda Civic can also put in a lead on the Ferrari, right? And he doesn't know because there's no. But this you will, if you want to send in a lead, you have to create a profile, right? And hopefully you put your picture in there and hopefully you give the sales guy a little info. Maybe one day you'll get like a blue check mark. So like when the lead comes from Brad Lee, they'll be like, oh, he's transacted on here before. This guy's real. I should probably call him back and I should keep following up with him.
Well, dude, there's a feature that you're touching on. I would be definitely doing the blue check mark.
Yeah.
Because again, the blue check mark makes a difference. So like that would be a benefit to me as a buyer on that app. Because like I'm a blue check mark, which means, hey, I'll submit whatever you want. But once you give me a blue check mark, that tells these dealers, dude, this dude's a buyer.
Let's go.
This dude is not going to have a problem buying your product or service. That would be valuable to a dealer.
It helps everybody because you'll get a better experience. I come in the morning, here's all my leads. Some of them are just an email address. Some of them, the guy popped off at 1 a.m. because he was drunk. Is this guy real? Sometimes it's just a phone number. And then I have to call him. He doesn't answer because he doesn't know my phone number. I send him a text, which is probably illegal because I didn't sign up for the text messages. I shoot him an email, right? And then I go about my day. And then he responds. Like you play that tag game for a day and a half. And then he's like, is the car available? And you're like, dude, it's available. It wouldn't be on my website. And like, you know what I mean? The chasing game is just so hard.
Not to mention, dude, there's a lot of scams.
And then there's the scams.
Dude, listen, I'm telling you, these scams are getting so elaborate. And I'm sharp at spotting nonsense.
Yeah.
I didn't spot the nonsense. The only thing I have killer intuition. My intuition told me to Google Earth it. And when I Google Earth their address, it looked like a train yard or an industrial area where it definitely wasn't a car place.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, their website, the way they answered their phone, they shot me back all the pictures and videos I wanted and asked for.
Yep.
Like it was when I was looking for my Chevelle.
Yep.
And I'm looking at this Chevelle that was probably at least $100,000 Chevelle based on what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. But it was $35,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not possible. And then I saw a 69 Camaro and I'm like, well, what do you want for that? And he's like, well, if you buy both, you know, and it was to where I was basically getting ready to wire the dude 120 G's, but I was getting a 69 Chevelle, fully dialed in, a 69 Camaro, trick like you wouldn't believe, and a Mustang, a 69 Mustang, like the John Wick style.
Yeah, sweet.
All for 120 when any one of them would have been 120.
Yeah.
But dude, it looked real as hell.
Oh yeah.
And I found them on Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook is a tough one.
But you'd think Facebook would crack down on these people.
Not at all.
Give them some check marks.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, dude, I almost sent my money, dude. This guy was good. Website was good. Everything was good. But on the website, I noticed the address. So I said, let me check this out. And I just Google Earthed it because I wanted to see, you know, the view of all the cars.
Yeah, you want to see what the dealership looked like.
Well, there were no cars. It was a train yard. And I called him. I said, dude, is this your address? He goes, yeah. I said, well, I Google Earthed it and I don't see anything. He said, no, man, we keep our cars like 10 minutes down the road in a warehouse. Like, all right, well, and then I started because I've been in the car business. I'm like, why would you keep your cars in a warehouse? You dipshit. Like you don't do that. But I'm sure some do.
Yep.
Well, there has to be some place to look at the car, bro. Where's the warehouse?
Yeah.
Then it went sideways, and I said, scam. Thank God. But dude, I bet you a lot of people are getting scammed on the internet.
A buddy of mine did that. He called me. Really good client of mine. Awesome guy. High net worth guy. Smart guy, really smart guy. And he's like, man, I feel a little nervous about this. I was like, well, send me the link. So the link looked like it was part of like a DuPont registry type. It was like a piggyback type thing. Cause it looked, and it was a real car. So they had saved pictures of a real car. And, I was like, the first thing I did was I looked up the address, and it was a barn in the middle of a field. And I was like, man, I would not send this guy money. He's like, I already did. I was like, how much money did you send? $420,000. When did you send it? Because sometimes you can stop a wire, you get the FBI and stuff. I sent it like 10 days ago. I was like, dude, that's gone. And it was like, he got some of it back because they were trying to zip it overseas real quick, but he's a smart guy, and he walked right into that one because it was the blue GT3 RS, and it was priced just right about, you know what I mean, where it was a good deal. And man, I was like, I'm helping dealers. That guy's not getting on this. Like, some websites let the consumer post their cars up there. I'm not putting the consumer cars up there. I may one day, if I can figure out how to like get the blue check marks and it's Brad Lee's car on there, those kind of things. But I'm not just letting some guy be like, I'm going to sell this today on this platform and at this price, and here's my wiring instructions. No way, man.
So Design
Auto.
Yep. Is basically going to be a trusted high-end marketplace.
Yep, exactly.
Both trusted from the consumer and the seller.
Yep.
Because I'd be on there as a consumer, but not a seller. You're looking for real dealerships.
Yep.
Like, so Tobin Automotive, believe it or not, that's called Ferrari of Las Vegas. But when I wired them their money, I sent it to, I think it was called the Toy Store or Tobin's Toy Store or something.
Yeah.
DBA Las Vegas, Ferrari Las Vegas. But why wouldn't people just go to Ferrari Las Vegas, the dealer themselves? Why would they go to Design Auto?
So it's 2025, and what I've kind of noticed is if they want the car, they'll go anywhere. So when I first started selling Bentleys and Rollses, they would buy them all from the local dealer. Now you got the internet, man. You got Amazon. You got like all these options. So people would come into my dealership all day and be like, dude, I love your website. I love we called it fresh merch, the stuff that we just got. It was like within 2 weeks. So they would just tool on my fresh merch. But man, I love your fresh merch. I didn't even know I wanted a DBS. Do you have any yellow ones? And I'd be like, man, I don't. I've got a white one. Can you find me a yellow one? How am I going to find you a yellow DBS? You know what I mean? And then the guy would pull up like a week later in his yellow DBS that he bought somewhere. So, the loyalty thing is it's not like it was back in the day. Now it's more like who's got the car. So if you want, a Ghost with a purple stripe and red seats, you're going to go get it. Hopefully your guy has it. And I'm kind of working on that too, where like you go to Tobin and you're like, hey, this is what I want. And all these dealers are on here. So he can kind of DM with those dealers because they don't work together. At least
why don't you just make a feature where if I can't find it, like a little button that I push and and you say, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
And then you say, give me 24 hours and I'll put out my feelers.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because maybe it's at an auction somewhere. Maybe it's not posted online. Maybe it was online, but it's no longer online. Because you're just going to aggregate everyone's inventory.
Yep.
Everyone who's legit.
Yep.
And they stand behind their product. So it's a trusted place. Like if I buy a car off Design Auto, it may be from Tobin Automotive.
Yeah.
But why didn't I just go to Tobin Automotive? Well, how did I know about the name Tobin Automotive? Well, if I go to the internet, because that's where most people go first, 2024 Rolls-Royce Ghost for sale, enter. And now it lists out, will it list out Design Auto?
Yeah, we'll be right on that. My SEO is going to be killer. My Instagram is going to be killer. SEO is going to be top notch. I'm doing the podcast scene. You know what I mean? We're going to be all over everything. You'll find out.
You going to do a podcast?
I'm going to do a podcast where it's more like I'm talking to the Chris Bartas of like the world. Like, hey, how did you start your dealership? Tell us about it. So like when you go on this website, you can be like, never heard of these guys. Click. Oh, the owner seems really cool. Oh shoot, they got a lot of cars. Just kind of like bring these guys to the surface, man, because they get buried on the other sites.
So it's almost like a social media.
It's got a social media vibe. So you can like stuff. Like what dealerships do you normally look at online, or do you just Google it? Do you have like your handful of like the 3 you usually go to?
Well, no, but I usually go wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
So like if in Las Vegas, I would type in Las Vegas Rolls-Royce for sale.
Yep.
And then whatever is here would come up.
Yep. So here you can create a profile, blue check mark one day. You can save all the dealers you like. So if these are the Vegas dealerships, you don't have to go to his website and then go to that website and then go to that. They'll all be saved in here. You can comment on pictures. The dealer can post content all day long for free. So if you're a smart dealer, you'll just be posting content. So when you're sitting waiting for your flight, you'll be like, Tobin Motors, these guys seem cool. And then like, oh, that's a cool video. Oh, they got a new dealership coming. So it's like stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to have a real social vibe to it.
When's it launch?
I'm going to be up and running in about 2 weeks.
What if that flops?
Then we'll push it back another 2 weeks.
Oh, but I mean, what if the whole thing flops?
I think there's so many different ways I can go with it that it's software, right? So it's like, okay, social media, throw that away. You know what I mean? Platform for cars, people like that. Maybe they like the chatting. And then maybe it's like, well, shoot, maybe I'll go dealer to dealer. Hey, I've got this SVJ I can't sell. Instead of running it to the auction, I can just hit a button and all the dealers are like, oh, shoot, I need that SVJ. What would you take for it? You know what I mean?
I'm surprised that ain't happening now.
They kind of really don't have that.
Why?
I don't know. The dealers don't communicate. They rely so much on the auctions.
Well, that's because the auctions have the buyers and it's called get my cash.
Yeah. But
I'd rather sell it as a dealer than send it to the auction.
Yeah. Especially like when you start getting the $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 range, they're not lining up to pick up your SVJ. You know what I mean? That's a different guy.
If I send an SVJ to an auction, it may not sell.
It won't even sell. Maybe it does, or you're going to lose your ass on it.
Have you sent high end to the auction?
I've tried it, and we stopped that years ago.
Because everybody wants it cheap.
They want to rip it from you. It's not like, oh, I need a truck. It's like, oh, blue SVJ. No, not right now. You know what I mean? And you've had it for a year, like all because they know. Or we've bought cars from the auction. Like, okay, why would someone run a Ferrari at the auction? There's probably something wrong with it. You know what I mean? So we would get these cars and we're like, dude, this thing needs $15,000 worth of service or, stuff like that. So we stopped. I stopped doing it.
What do you drive?
I've got a G63. So I just left Tactical Fleet. I drove whatever I wanted to drive, which was really cool. So and I have a wife and kids. So it was a lot of Cullinans, Urises, G-Wagons. I really like the G-Squared. That's a cool truck. And then I'd be like, all right, I need to rip something home. Let's go GT3 RS. Let's go F8. I didn't drive the Lambos much, maybe a couple times a month. Like SVJ once a year. Huracan once a month, maybe. It's not really my style, but I like the Porsches, man. Porsches, and I love Bentleys. GT Speed or something.
Someone told me the Bentley Speed, I forget what it was, Silver Spur or something like that.
Flying Spur, yeah.
The Flying Spur is like the best driving car ever.
Man, it is a nice car. It's a sedan. It's kind of like it's the Bentley's version of the Ghost.
Well, dude, if you ask me, Rolls-Royce, maybe Rolls-Royce can sponsor me.
There you go.
Maybe Rolls-Royce can just send me a brand new one and I'll say Rolls-Royce every day on my social media. Rolls-Royce, Rolls-Royce, Rolls-Royce. Yeah. But the Rolls-Royce, dude, I've never driven a nicer driving car.
Such a nice car. Such a great brand.
For a sedan, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why they don't make a sports car. Can you imagine a little Rolls-Royce frickin' supercar?
Yeah, they don't, do they? They got the Dawns and the Wraiths.
Yeah, but they make Rolls-Royce engines for jets. So if they built a little Ferrari-looking supercar with a Rolls-Royce badge on it.
Yeah, they should.
I'll bet you it'd sell.
They should do like a little two-door.
Wonder why they don't.
I don't know. They're more like the cruisers. But
they make jet engines.
That's true. Yeah.
So like Rolls-Royce just could make any damn thing they want. Just like Ferrari, dude. Have you seen the movies?
Which movie?
Just the Ferrari movies.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari. And then I just saw one called, it was about the Monza and that crash. You remember you know what I'm talking about? It was a story of Ferrari.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw it on Netflix. I never clicked on it though.
It's a good story,
Was it good? I got to watch that. I'll watch it tonight.
Like when you watch it, you're like, damn, dude, this guy struggled just like everybody else, but you don't think a Ferrari is struggling.
No. They got to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Lamborghini was a tractor.
And then that's why I like Lambos, because Lamborghini was apparently kind of punked by the Ferrari guy.
Yep.
And he said, oh, yeah. And then he went and built Lamborghini, which is killer, but I've driven them both. And I think at the end of the day, the Ferrari's more refined and classy and, badass.
Yep.
And the Lamborghini is cool and rough and new and bullish, no pun intended, because of the bull logo. But to me, the logos mean everything. The horse.
Sure. Yeah.
The horse.
Yep.
Man, I'd rather have a horse than a bull.
Me too. I like it's the brand and the drive and
the sound.
Sounds good.
And the drive, dude, they're different.
Looks
they do
cool.
not drive the same.
No.
A Lamborghini, when I gave this guy's Aventador back.
Oh yeah. Aventador is an interesting drive.
He said to me, how'd you like it? Cause he loves Lambos. And I said,
I didn't.
I said, nice truck, bro. It was a great truck. And he's like, starts laughing. And this guy, by the way, dude, I'll introduce you to him. He's looking for high-end cars. He'll be a design auto customer.
Perfect.
But, he might want to find a marketplace for his quality stuff. And he's not a dealer.
Yeah. So the other thought process I had was someone brought this up to me. He was like, why don't you create a garage so they can load up all their cars? So if a dealer's like, man, I really need a Aventador. Oh, this guy has one. And you can just shoot him an offer because his car's just loaded in there. That's something I'm kind of kicking around too.
Yeah. And or you let them build their own garages. And then like when you want to see my cars, I send you my garage.
Yeah.
And you're looking through my inventory.
Yeah.
Because it's all badass, but it's not necessarily for sale. So it's not even the same model.
Yeah.
But car people would love that.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to be able to go in and look at Andy Frisella's garage.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen Andy Frisella's garage, like I don't know that I've seen a nicer car collection, including dealers. Like if I flew to Tactical Fleet and looked around, I'll bet you your fleet isn't as nice as Andy's fleet.
We had he said something the other day about having $40 million worth of cars. And I looked out at our
Andy?
Yeah. And I looked at
He's got probably more than that.
He said 40 on a podcast. And I was like,
that might've been an old podcast, bro. Dude, Andy's been playing with cars forever and a day, and he knows exactly the ones to get, and he has them all, and he is not limited.
Yeah.
So like the Bugatti, the carbon fiber one that just came out.
Yeah.
That's like $7 million bucks. Bang. He just bang. There you go. Ford GTs. I was walking by his Ford GTs. He's got like 4 of them.
Yes.
When I was there anyway.
He's got that orange one.
He's got 4 of them. He's got a white one. He's got an orange one, but he's like, that one's $1 million. That one's 2.2 million. That one's, and like, you can't even get them if you wanted them. He's got 4 of them.
Unreal. He's got an F40 Ferrari.
He's got an F40. He's got a freaking Ghost. He's got
P1,
a Cullinan. He's got
P1,
them all.
Yeah.
He's got McLarens. I'm surprised he doesn't have a Pagani. He probably does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all his cars.
They're all like nice. They're not like, everyone's like the perfect spec. They're not like the wrong color or like the wrong wheels. They're just like, that guy knows what he's doing.
I asked him one day, like, how do you know what to buy? Like, dude, even if I had as much money as he does, because he crushed it with the supplement deal.
Yeah.
But even if I had as much money as he did, to where, like, because I can go buy a bunch of cars. I'm not a big car guy like he is, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to buy.
Yeah.
Well, buy what you like. Well, what if I like the wrong shit? Now I don't have a killer collector car. I have a pain in my ass.
And then you got to manage them all, keep them insured, change the oil, start them up. That's a full-time job for people. I bet he's got a whole staff in there, unless he does it himself. But
I bet you he has a staff. But every day he goes and picks whatever he wants to drive, bro. And there is no limit to what he can drive. He's got the nicest I've ever seen from anybody.
That's unreal.
But so this design auto app or website or resource.
Yep.
I can see what, as a user, right? You're only looking for high-end people that can afford them.
Yep.
What about all the looky-loos that want to download the app and just dream?
They're welcome on there. I'm just trying to keep it more of like, if you want to ask a question or if you want to talk to a sales guy, you have to create a profile. I'm hoping those guys aren't. I hope, just go look. You know what I mean? Go to the store, take a look. But because I need traffic. I want people, and the other thing
but you really want dealers.
I want the dealers selling their cars, but I need the consumers, I need you tooling around on there too. Being like, oh shoot, I never even thought about a yellow DBS. Boom. But yeah, I want everyone on there. I just want it to be a little cleaner, no fraud, no bad leads, no unnecessary information.
The ideal scene.
Ideal scene.
Now, how do you plan on getting me there?
Stuff like this, podcasts, the SEO. So if you Google Ferrari for sale in Vegas, it's going to pop up. You're going to get
marketing.
All marketing. Let's brand the shit out of it.
And Design Auto. Why Design Auto?
So when we were starting Tactical Fleet, I wanted to call it Design Auto because we have this part of Dallas called the Design District, and there was a 30,000 square foot building in there. I was like, dude, I'm going to get that building, call it Design Auto, and that was 8 years ago. So I was like, that's a cool name.
You sound like the type of dude that like, hey, you're not too worried if it works out or not. You're just going to make it work out.
It's going to work. Yeah. It's going to go one direction or that. Like, this is the idea today, but I could be here in 2 years and be like, dude, hey, we're selling houses on here. It's called Design Houses or something.
Or you'll be like, yeah, that didn't work out. So I ended up doing this.
Yeah.
And boom. And that's what entrepreneurs do, dude. Like, I mean, people say if you want to win, you just never give up. Well, dude, there's some things that, you probably should give up. Like if after 2 years you can't get anyone to buy a car through it, like after a while, enough's enough. Yeah,
exactly. And it's the internet, so you can always delete it.
And there's AIs. You might come out with this app, and 2 weeks later, dude, you're out of business because there's now a Design Auto Plus, and it's all AI driven, and it'll find you way more cars than yours will because you were picky. Or
you add the AI, so you think you're talking to a sales guy asking all your questions, but the AI guy is just like, 2 keys, in 2024 it had 2 keys. Oh, the window sticker, we saved that from 2023. Here you go. Like, you're not even talking to a sales guy. That's possible.
Well, the problem with AI right now is all it's doing is quickly searching the World Wide Web. Yep. So if the information's not there, the AI is not going to have it either.
Exactly.
Like, do you have a key or not? Well, how's the AI know unless you told it?
But the thing is, there's not that many exotic cars. So theoretically, they should all pass through here at some point or another. And my system's saving the VIN numbers and the photos and the questions, all that kind of stuff.
So with Ferrari, dude, they told me I can't sell it for, I think it was 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, what if I had?
Depends on how you sell it. Like if you sell it to your buddy and it's just offline, you'll probably be fine. If you post it on a website, they look, dude. Like there's a guy over in Italy that's just like looking. And if it's something that like a Roma or something like that, they're like, well, we told them not to sell it, but you can get a Roma. But if it's like something hot, that you should like the Parasangwe, the SUV, they'll come after you.
Is that hot?
It was a few months. They were $1 million. Now they're like 600, I think. Maybe
it's called Parasangwe.
Parasangwe.
I thought it was a Parasang.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, something like that.
It's spelt Parasangwe.
It's a tough name.
See, that's not even a good name.
It's not good here, is it?
Ferrari Parasangwe.
F8. We can say F8 or 458. That's when you start going that direction. It's like, I don't know.
Well, there's a Ferrari that I can't even get because like I haven't bought enough of them.
And there's that, yeah.
But the it's like a Daytona 3 or something.
Yeah, SP3 Daytona.
SP3, dude, that thing looks sick.
We wrapped a few of the. We're doing Clear Shield at Tactical Fleet, so we wrapped a few of them. It's pretty legit.
Dude, Ferrari's the best if you ask me.
They're the best, man.
Ferrari, you can sponsor me too. I'd get sponsored by Ferrari and Rolls Royce. I'd be styling. Although what's funny about this, I was just telling him in the green room, folks, once you, at least me, unless you're a car guy, like if you love cars, this doesn't apply. I love cars. I just don't love cars. Yeah. In other words, they're cool. I'd much prefer to drive a Rolls Royce than a freaking Honda Accord.
Yeah.
But I'd prefer my truck. Like I have a Raptor R and I have the TRX. I don't care which one. Depends on where I'm going. But like you could have the Ferraris, the Ghosts, the Cullinans, the McLarens, the freaking Porsches, like all of them.
Yep.
Dude, I'm probably driving those trucks.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
So in our world, we call that the daily driver. What's your daily driver? It's like that Rolex that's like kind of nice, but you wear it every day. Not that special one you kind of break out for dinners. That's your daily. And then the Ferrari is like, all right, I'm going out tonight. I'm taking my wife. We're going to go here. Maybe not the hockey game because it's not the best, but you take it to dinner. You take it to like an event or something. That's when you break those cars out. That's why they have no miles on them. People don't drive them.
But that's my point. Like, why am I spending $400,000 on a vehicle
it's just for that? It's just
that I barely drive? And when I do, what am I driving it for when I'm in reality wishing I had the Raptor, which was sitting right there, but I took this. What for? Well, because I want everybody to see that I can afford a Rolls Royce, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I don't want to be driving it. I'd rather be driving the Raptor. But when I pull up in the Raptor, how you doing? How long are you going to be here? I pull up in the Rolls Royce. They're like, hello, Mr. Lee. It sounds like there's music playing, even though there's not.
Yeah.
You know, like
totally different experience.
Dun, 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 you know, that royal sounding shit.
Yeah.
And then when I walk out, of course, and there's a bunch of people waiting for their car, and, you know, the rolls up, and everybody was standing next to you is like,
who's that guy?
Who's that dude? Yeah. That guy must be a billionaire. That's all it's for.
That's all it's for, man.
I know, but I'm past it. I don't like it. I mean, I don't mind it. It's kind of fun. But in reality, dude, I'm past it. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking about selling them all.
Yeah.
Maybe I get you to sell them through Design Auto for me.
Yeah, I was gonna. There is this too. This is gonna be a game changer. I was kind of keeping it in my pocket, but like, all right, there's gonna be a sell us your car feature. So you're like, love the website. I'm just not in the market right now. I just want to sell my car. You pop it in, it shoots it out to all the dealers, right? And these are all real, accredited. They have the cash to pay you. It's not like you're not going to get some mom and pop that's like, you know, send me the title and all, you know, you're going to get the real stuff. So then they can send you a bid. It'll come into your little inbox and you can be like, you know, Tactical Fleet said, you know, 200. This guy said 220. This guy said 235. Maybe I'll call those two guys and see if I can get the 220 guy up, and you can kind of do that. So you can just pump it in and then get bids back.
So that's another valuable feature.
And the dealer, like, okay, you're in Vegas. The dealer in Florida might need that car, but he would never know about it because he's out there, and then he's going to get an email like, oh shoot, I need that Ghost. I never would have known Bradley. I never would have known that car existed if I wasn't on this platform.
But dude, I'm glad you showed up out here. You know, if I'm listening to this and I'm a dealer or in the dealer space, you know, you got me interested to reach out about the Design Auto, because a dealer wants to be on all of them.
Yep.
Definitely. So if there's a new one coming, like Car Gurus and all these websites, which are really just lead aggregators,
100%.
Lead aggregators. So dealers sign up for them because when someone does search them for a Rolls Royce, their inventory shows up.
Yep. Well,
it's almost like fear of loss with these dealers.
It is.
Like, dude, I got to be on there. If there's any users on there, I got to be on there.
Yep.
And so your biggest challenge in my mind is you better get all the high-end guys to know about Design Auto, and you better incentivize me to use it, because a lot of these high-end guys, bro, like, they got their connects, so they don't go anywhere. They call their buddy.
Yep.
Like, if you were my buddy, I'd call you and say, Chris, I'm looking for a freaking Daytona SP3. And you'd say, all right, let me look around. And then you'd go to your network and, I got one. You know, what do you want for it? You know, $450.
Yep.
Well, I got to sell it to Brad, so I'll give you $420. He's giving me $450. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'd like to make $30,000 on this transaction. You know how that conversation always sounds.
That's the best.
And then you buy it and you find out, you lying ass. Dude, I've heard people tell me, you know, we're in it this much, and they don't realize I've been in the business before. What about holdback?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? I'm like, you don't know what holdback is, bro?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, we got to make some money. I'm like, dude, you just said you weren't making any, you lying ass. Why don't you just tell the damn truth? I would want to start one called freaking Truth Motors.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just Truth Motors, bro. Look, there it is. If you want it, I want to make $2,000. And if you don't want to let me make $2,000, then keep looking, dick.
Yeah. Then there's that conversation.
Well, keep looking.
Yeah.
You didn't buy the dealer license. You didn't advertise for all the people. You don't have a lot to pay for. Like, you expect to get them for what I get them for.
Yeah.
Like, why do customers do that, do you think?
It's something about the way, like, I think it has to do with the way our parents raised us. So it's just like, the car dealer is out to get you. You can't let them make money. Every other industry, you go, like, man, you go to the Win, you don't even look at the tab. You just, all right, how much was that? Oh man, that was expensive dinner. You know what I mean? But like,
you go to the grocery store, they say it's $2 for the gallon of milk. You pay your $2. You don't go, I'll give you $1.10. What'd you pay for this milk?
I know.
Well, what'd you pay for it?
What silly industry. And then this guy hit me with this the other day. Well, you already made money once on that car before. I should be able to get it for 30% off. I was like, bro, what? Just because I've sold it twice, you get 30% off? And he was a dealer. It's like, that is just a really nice comment.
How come people can't just say, listen, man, like me, dude, I want people to make money. When I bought it from the third baseman.
Yeah.
If you didn't sponsor the episode, I'd say his name, but since you did, I'm going to keep his name out of it. But dude, like I told him, bro, I don't mind you making money.
Yeah.
You got the dealership, you got the license, you got the car.
Overhead, all that stuff.
All the crap that the dealers have to go with. I mean, dealers are making large investments to get deals at that rate. And then you come along and expect to get the same deal with no investment?
Yeah.
Like, dude, what world are you living in? Do you not understand the world? So I don't go in there trying to get them down to the last penny to where now the next time I come in there, they're like, oh God, here comes this dick.
Yeah.
What's he want this time? And it's usually those customers that are the most pissed.
Oh, it's going to be a disaster.
You lose money and they come back and they found a scratch near the gas tank.
It's going to be bad.
I need that I need the whole damn car painted.
Here's the bill for $20,000. I went ahead and started the work. If you want to just go ahead and reimburse me, that's what they do to us.
Yeah, or worse, you say, look, guys, we didn't make any money on the car. You bought it as is. You walked around the whole thing.
You flew out to Dallas.
We did everything legit, and I can't pay for that. Boom. 1-star review.
Yep.
Tactical Fleet's a bunch of scammers. And then you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that goes with any business.
Yeah.
What makes you think Design Auto is not going to get the same kind of troll?
I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm stepping in front of that, hoping that like these are the good dealers. I'm trying to keep the people that don't belong in there off. If you want to communicate on there, you need a profile, put your picture up, give us a little information about yourself. There's no reviews on there. So if you're like, I wonder if these Tactical Fleet guys are good, you're going to have to go off and figure it out on your own. I don't want you to like, if this guy's paying me to put his cars on here, I don't want some girl to be like, he gave me one key, fuck these guys. You know what I mean? And you see it on there.
Yeah.
If you want to figure it out, go ahead. But I'm just trying to keep it a little more just like clean place to just find cars. You know
Quality.
what I mean? Quality.
Dude, out of everything you told me, because I always judge people and projects. Like, we're not supposed to judge, but I always do for some reason. Like, I judge ideas. Like, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I would have said to the person who invented Crocs, ain't no one going to buy those, dude.
Yeah.
Don't ever even waste $1 developing Crocs, bro. You're going to lose.
Yeah.
And I'd have been wrong.
Yep.
So in this case, it's like Crocs. No, I'm joking. In this case, I think, would I use Design Auto? Well, number one, I'd have to know about it.
Yep.
So you got your work cut out for you. Some people are going to know about it from my podcast, but dude, like you need on Joe Rogan, dude.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
I would say I need to know about it. And then when I know about it, the value would be trusted and easy.
Yep.
Like, dude, I know I can find the car myself online, do my own research, check around, look around, call around, do all that. But the value to me, and that's your customer, the value to me, well, your real customer is the dealer.
The dealer.
But you don't want them all.
Yeah.
You want a handful. You want the good ones. So you only want a handful. So I don't know what your business model is, but it's not the normal one. Because I want all the dealers and all the people. No, you don't. You're not even going to, you don't want them all.
Yeah.
You want a few quality. So there's the value in that to me as the consumer. I can trust Design Auto has high quality kick-ass cars. There's no one going to be ripping me off. If there is only one key, they're going to tell me and the trust factor's there.
Yep.
Now I'm going to use Design Auto. Why? Because I'm dealing with a high-end automobile, and it would almost be like Design Auto is the seal of approval.
That's the seal. Yep.
So if I were you, I would make sure that like everything you said is exactly what it is and no less, because that's why I would go to Design Auto versus call my buddy.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys like me that they're going to call their buddy even if there's Design Auto, but you know what they're going to use Design Auto for? A guide, a blue book.
Yep.
I'll call my buddy and say, hey, I'm looking for an SVJ. Yeah, they're running about $1 million. Design Auto's got them for around 900.
Yeah.
Like, how do you figure?
Yeah.
But how do you stop the dude from calling their buddy?
It's going to be, I mean, it's the internet. So you just got to get them on the internet. And that's when like the social media comes into play, the SEO, the YouTube, my own podcast, talking to dealers. I just want to like, if you click on it, it's going to follow you everywhere you go. The creative is going to be awesome. And it's just going to have a really like type of environment where like, you can send me a message. I'll write back. You know what I mean? Because this content's gonna be like, hey, you should click this button and it'll do this, and like there's a face to it. Those guys, they don't have faces. You know what I mean? Some of those companies have 800 employees going door to door to car salesmen to get those other platforms going. This is like a guy who's been doing it for 15 years. You know what I mean? So if you want to ask me like, what do you think, F8 or Lamborghini? I'll answer you. You know what I mean? There's a guy there.
So it's more bespoke.
It's very bespoke.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thanks, man.
My friends. Anybody watching needs a freaking badass vehicle, this episode is probably going to take a couple weeks unless you're live.
Good.
But if you're listening, it's probably available. Where can they go get Design Auto?
It's not up yet.
But let's pretend this drops.
Designauto.com. You could _design_auto on Instagram is the only thing I could get, which was a nightmare. But yeah, designauto.com.
Designauto.com, folks. Go support my man. Get his it's almost like an online high-end exotic car magazine.
Marketplace for cars $100,000 and up.
Yeah, so if you guys are into kick-ass cars, if you buy them, go to designauto.com.
If you need to sell one.
If you need to sell one.
If you need to ship one, you hit a button.
Oh, you got shipping.
If you need help with insurance, you hit a button.
So it's all things high-end cars.
If you want to advertise on there, it doesn't, because I'm not going for like I don't want the dealers to pay to get their cars to the top like they do now. I want it to be like a nice level playing field. So the ads are going to be more like, a Rolex ad or like a JSX ad, stuff like that. So if you want to advertise on there, or if you're McLaren.
It's like a Rob report. Because if I'm like in the market for a high-end vehicle, my biggest fear is, getting ripped off. Because you don't know. Like, like Rolls Royces, you want a black badge, I would assume, because if you got that much money, why would you buy the freaking non-black badge?
Yeah.
Because you're going to save $50,000. No one gives a shit. Not in that category.
Some people don't like them all murdered out like that, though. Like, you got to think there's,
what are you talking about?
The 70 and 80-year-old guys. They don't want them all blacked out like that.
Of course they do. Dude, if you don't got a black badge, you got basically a basic, even though there's no such thing as a basic Rolls Royce, but technically, yes, there is. As soon as someone tells you they got a Rolls Royce, what do you ask? Black badge? That's what you said about me. That's what you told me.
That's because I saw it on the internet and I was like, I think that's a black badge. And that goes back to the dealer thing. Some dealers will make them look like black badges and they're not. They'll put fake wheels on there and black them out.
Yeah, well, if you know what you're doing, which most people that are buying them,
that's when you get the window sticker, because the window sticker will say it.
Well, mine's a black badge.
I know it is. Does it have custom wheels?
I put wheels on it.
So.
Dude, you got to get shoes on the vehicle.
Yeah.
These factories, they're not the best wheel picker.
Yeah.
It's like you see some of these $500,000 cars, but the wheels, like, dude, why did you stop at the wheels?
You got the
and then when you change them, they're all pissed off at you. It's like, well, dude, you could have just gave me some kick-ass. Like, why don't you just make it with the baddest rim on the planet?
That's funny. Yeah.
So I had to get a Rolls Royce looking wheel.
Did you get to keep the center cap, the floater?
Of course.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Dude, center cap, if I didn't get that, I wouldn't have got it. And not only that, the Starry Night roof. Like, if I don't have shooting stars while I'm driving my kids around at night, you're almost like, geek.
Why bother?
See, this is my point. Like, dude, there's people out there with a Rolls Royce with no Starry Night roof.
Yeah.
Now, is that worth more, or is a Starry Night roof worth more?
It's literally the first question I ask. Does it have stars? Because if it doesn't, it's going to be a problem.
That's my point. Like, that's my point, dude. Like, you got to know what to get. I'd be out there buying a Rolls Royce, rolling up to you going, dude, I just got this Rolls Royce. You'll be like, no stars, bro.
So you go on to Design Auto. There's an AI bar. And you can say questions like, what kind of questions do I need to be asking for a ghost? And it'll be like, here you go, from what we've been asked. So you don't necessarily have to ask, because they ask the sales guy, like, what doesn't it have? Because you don't know. I mean, how much time can you spend shopping for a ghost? But the AI will tell you that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, last question for you then.
Yeah.
F8.
Yep.
Last year they made it. I think that's 2022.
Yep.
Now?
23 maybe?
Nope, 22.
22?
I think, because again, when I got mine, it was the last of them. You couldn't buy one.
Yeah, F8 was short. That was during COVID. That was the COVID car.
Right. And so the V8,
Yeah.
last of the Mohicans.
Yep.
The 296 I ordered on a whim,
Yep.
and it's about to be here, so now I'm going to have it.
Yep.
But it's the six-cylinder hybrid. They'll never make a V8 again, according to Ferrari.
I think they're going to do it all anyway.
I think they're going to have to.
And the V12 too.
But at the end of the day, the 296, it doesn't even look as good as the F8 in my opinion, but it is the Spider, meaning
convertible
drop top.
Yep.
But again, in the future, which one's going to be worth more?
I mean, theoretically, the F8 should be, and then the 458 is going to be the one everyone should get.
Because that's naturally aspirated.
That's the one to get. Or like a 458.
Well, the 458 is naturally aspirated,
Yeah.
and the F8 is not.
And the 488 isn't either. So they're all going back to the 458s now.
Yeah. So is my F8 just as?
I think the F8 will do well because it was a COVID car and they didn't make many of them. So these hybrids are going to come out and drop because it's that market. But
The 296s.
I think the F8, man. I think
Is it possible to drive it off the lot and lose $100,000?
I don't know if it's that much, but yeah, you might take a little hit on there.
Well, in most cases, like you buy a F8 when they were hot, you drive it off the lot, and it's worth $200,000 more than you paid for it.
Yeah,
which is what happened to me. I got my car. Someone offered me $550.
Damn.
I'm like, dude, it was only $357.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, but you can't get them.
And you weren't allowed to sell it either, right?
No, they told me if I sold it, I wouldn't be able to get any more.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Which again, I mean, now that I feel the way I do, like, I'll just go to Design Auto.
Yeah.
Like, how does Ferrari know who you're selling like to? I don't get how Ferrari controls it like that.
They don't. Like the ones they see though is your car for sale on the internet, right? And
but they would just stop me from buying a new one.
Yeah, it would. That would be the end of that, theoretically.
But I could have you go buy it and then give it to me.
Then you can start playing that game. But then there's like, the Ferrari guys are like, they're still the last of they do protect the brand, man. You can't just you're not going to roll in there and buy one. You know what I mean?
See, that's why I love them too. Because again, they care about who owns their cars.
They do.
And I know a guy named Whistling Diesel. He, trashes Ferraris for fun, for viral videos.
Yeah.
Ferrari was suing him.
Really?
Like, dude, you do not trash our cars. And I'm like, it's my car, prick. No, it's technically our car, and it's our brand, and they take it very seriously.
Yeah, they do.
Andy Frisella didn't have Ferraris when I first was talking to him. He had Lambos, and I kept saying, why don't you have any Ferraris? And he's like, he didn't like that aspect. Like, who do they think they are?
Yeah.
And, da-da-da-da-da. And then next thing I know, I see Ferraris in his thing. And I said, I thought you didn't like Ferraris. He goes, bro, had to get one, man. They're so badass.
To have one, especially that guy.
Dude, hope Design Auto crushes.
Thanks,
folks.
Man.
Bomb Squad, you can support this dude by going to designauto.com and downloading the app and go to the website. And if you know anybody looking for high-end exotic cars, tell them about Design Auto. Go follow my dude, Chris, at CP Barta, and go support his program at _design_auto. I'd never want to say that, bro.
I don't think it matters anymore. As long as you can get Design Auto in there, it'll pull up.
Design Auto, folks. You heard it here first. Chris, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man.
Folks, as always, till next time, keep it real.